G3 is a slow but flexible move that prepares to bring the bishop to G2, castle quickly, and attack the center later. D5 is a solid move which takes control of the center after white's cautious first move. Bishop G2 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. C6 supports the D5 pawn and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Knight F3 develops the knight toward the center, controls the E5 and D4 squares, and prepares castling, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This move opens the path for your bishop to enter the game, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Repeating moves with the same piece can delay your progress. This forces the opponent to double pawns, recapturing. This overlooks an opportunity to prepare a bishop for development. Castling kingside helps to complete your development. One of the best moves. You allowed the opponent to kick a bishop. This gives away a free pawn. You permitted the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This wins a pawn. You captured back. Right on target. You take back. It is best to avoid doubled isolated pawns. You're preparing for the game ahead, activating the queen in the opening. This is the only good move. This kicks the checking queen away with a pawn. You overlooked an opportunity to recapture a piece from a previous move. This loses a pawn. That pawn was yours for the taking. This loses a rook. This removes a queen that put your king in check. Takes back. You overlooked an opportunity to tactically win a rook. This allows the opponent to win a rook. Your opponent's rook is trapped. This is the strongest option. You captured that free rook, developing the knight and increasing in. Nice move. Your bishop now controls more squares. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. Black's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Good thinking. This move puts your bishop into a stronger, more active position. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. Your rooks can work together now. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This move challenges their rook for control of the file. This defends a rook that was under attack and had no defenders. You exchange pieces of equal value. Recap. This loses a piece, but you are still winning. A solid choice. Your last piece has joined the game. This creates a pawn chain. You give up a knight with this move, but your winning advantage is still secure. Black attacks a trapped piece and will win a knight. That move leaves your knight free to capture. This captures a free knight. Isolated doubled pawns will be hard for you to defend. That's not a mistake, but this is a fine move. This is a fair move. Your pawn is undefended, so this move loses material. This is the only move that works. You found a safer square for your bishop. This misses an opportunity to. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. You overlooked a better way to move a rook to safety. This misses an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. This moves the knight to safety. You step your king away from the checking knight. This leaves a knight without defenders. You captured that free knight. Very precise. You allowed the opponent to win a rook through a fork. This misses an opportunity to win a rook through a fork. Good job. That's what I would have played too. A very strong play. Passed pawns have a clear path to promotion. This threatens to tactically win a rook. You lost your advantage, and now the position is balanced. This is the only good move. This move will cost you a bishop. This is the way to win a bishop. You've just allowed your rook to be taken without a fight. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a free. Your rook is undefended, so this misses an opportunity to capture a free rook. You overlooked an opportunity to move a rook to safety. That's fine. This moves your bishop to a safer square. This wins a bishop. This is the only move that works and you found it. Takes back. This rook move keeps an eye on the pawn while staying active. Pushing a passed pawn. Very good choice. That rook was free for the taking. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. This moves the bishop to a more. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. Right on target. Yes, this is the way. One of the best moves. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. This is the strongest option. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This blocks white's pawn. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. That was a free pawn. Passed pawns must be pushed. This moves the bishop to a better location. Nice. Definitely the right move. That's not a mistake. Good job. That's what I would have played too. That pawn was free. There was only one good move and you found it. This moves the bishop to a more active square. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. Very precise. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. That was a free pawn. The only move and you found it. Passed pawns must be pushed. This moves the bishop to a better location. You escape the check from the bishop. This is a fair move. This wins a bishop. This steps away from the checking queen. That bishop was yours for the taking. A solid choice. Well done, an excellent move. This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate. You missed an opportunity to force eventual checkmate. This overlooks a better way to There was a moment to punish your opponent's error. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. Yes, this is the way. A very strong play. One of the best moves. You're still on the road to checkmate. This steps away from the You continue the check. This steps. You're still on the road to checkmate. This evades the check from the queen. You continue the checkmate attack. This steps away from the checking queen. This steps away from the checking queen. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. Checkmate is always the best move.